Hello, everybody. This is How Is His Name with episode 5. 5. One more than 4, one less than 6 of Ramblings. So, yesterday we were having a discussion on stream about like how terrible social media is. And then that made me remember like like a disconnect that I had with the years and years ago back when I was in high school. So, without being like back in my day type thing, we're just going to be pretty brief with it. So, uh yeah, back in like high school when I was like 14, 15, I was on Twitter a lot, like a lot. And I just realized through Twitter, I'm like, majority of people in the world are just stupid. Like they're just dumb. I was pessimistic about humanity. Like we're all screwed because everyone's dumb. It took me a little bit to realize that Twitter is not the majority. In fact, it's the minority of people in the world. And that can be said with any community, or nearly, I'd say 99% of communities out there for any given topic or game or genre or anything that you can possibly think of on social media. So, an example of that statement. Let's say there's the K-pop community worldwide, right? Korean pop, all right, worldwide. We'll call that A, all right? That entire community is called A. Then there's the Twitter K-pop community. We'll call that community B, all right? Community B will always be more immature, more toxic, less wise, and just straight up stupid than community A. Because what's the difference between A and B, right? Who uses social media? Most younger people for the most part. You don't see older people on it. Like the majority of the demographic is younger people, teenagers, young adults, stuff like that. So therefore, you lose the wisdom, you lose the maturity of the older generations in each community. Now, that's not to say that in general the K-pop community isn't just like community A isn't just younger, but I'm saying like I'm sure there's 30, 40-year olds that don't have a Twitter that are in community A, so therefore they're not represented in community B. So therefore, community B, K-pop on Twitter is just a very loud minority. So if your entire universe revolves around Twitter and like you think your world outlook comes from Twitter, you're actually gonna end up having a negative outlook on just about every topic and or uh community that there is. So like I said, with what I just said, every community and every topic is just worse uh on Twitter or like on a social media platform than it is in general. Okay, now the same thing can be applied to humanity. Ooh, I just hit my mic. The same thing can be applied to humanity. The people on Twitter, right, as a whole, are just less wise, less mature, and just stupid than the majority person or average person in the world, right? So I could see some atrocious tweet about like some about like normalizing pedophilia, right? I'm like, and it'll have like 10,000 likes, and maybe it'll be ratio with like 20,000 replies, but still, I'm like 10,000 likes. Holy shit, that's a lot. But then I know that if I go down the street and talk with like anybody, they're gonna have the exact opposite view of that, right? They're gonna have the exact opposite view of what I just saw. So, like the way I was able to overcome my like nihilism, and like not nihilism, but more like pessimism for humanity and other things, because I used to have like sort of a not superiority complex, but like borderline god complex because I saw how stupid the average Twitter person was. So therefore, I'm like, I'm that much smarter than the average person in general. When that's not the case, I'm just smarter than the average Twitter user, which is not the average person because the average Twitter user is just more brain dead than the average person. So I was able to cure that problem of mine by realizing that Twitter does not equate to reality. So therefore, that makes sense why people are like so flabbergasted and so confused whenever like there's an upset, like especially in politics, like whenever Brexit happened, all over Twitter, people were like, "What the fuck? How could this have happened? It's crazy." Because all my friends that I follow and all the people I follow and all the Twitter moments I saw, they all said they're not gonna vote for Brexit because it's a dumb decision. But then Brexit happened, and you're like, "Wow, can't believe that happened." Like it's because they equate Twitter to reality. They think whatever they see on Twitter is an accurate representation of what the world is like in general, and that's not how it works. And thank God that's not how that works because Twitter is such a terrible place with people. So yeah, that's something I want to get off my chest. So literally, if you want to like Twitter's like right now, just in general, Twitter's a bad place. Like right now, like social media is just a terrible place because everyone's complaining about like every day there's something new to complain about or someone new to attack. Like yesterday or 2 days ago, it was Ellen that they were attacking. Like they were saying, "Oh, rip Ellen," and they were just posting like pictures that look like her. Like, "Oh, rip Ellen, raggedy bitch, yada yada yada. It looks like this, and this." And yesterday it was Jeff Bezos. So then probably today it'll be like Elon Musk or something. Who knows? Like it's just like them. Every day they're at war with somebody because they're bored and they're immature. So yeah, it's pretty bad. And then there's topics just like, "Oh, what are we mad about today, Twitter?" It's like, "Oh, you just put your hand to a hat of ideas and figure it out." Literally, that's all you're doing because they just gotta do something with their energy. They just want like, you know, do something with their energy. It sort of reminds me of like the idea that if given the option, right, two choices, you either live your entire life and make no difference on the world whatsoever, or two, you live out your life and have a negative impact on the world, but a profound negative impact. Your name will be remembered, right? You will die knowing you had an impact on the world, but it's negative. It's a negative impact. You'd consciously know that. And majority of people, they'll say, or a lot of people, they'll say they'll take the negative impact because at least they know that they did something, right? Like if you live your entire life and you don't have an impact on the world, did you actually live? Like that's what some people think. So they'd rather have a negative impact than no impact whatsoever. And that's what I think of all these Twitter activists. They just want to be mad and want to cause a ruckus and cause change, but they don't know if the change is good or bad. And I don't think they really care if the change is good or bad. I saw I think it was a 14 or 13-year-old doxxed by like a grown adult, like 25-year-old verified Twitter user because he put a meme that included the soft A, like the N-word, soft A. It was like guacamole bleep penis, like that meme. It was like, nice, congratulations, you caused change. You ruined this 14-year-old's life by getting him kicked out of high school and shit like that. Congratulations, because he put a meme that included the N-word. Wow, you are top-notch activist. I am so proud of you. Like, there's that. So, yeah, just in general, Twitter's a pretty awful place. So every now and then I have to remind myself that Twitter is just a loud minority. They're like the annoying cousin or the annoying part of the family that's just like really loud at family gatherings. They're like that. They don't make up all the family. They don't represent all the family. It's just like they're just off by themselves being weird and being loud. They don't really engage with everyone else because they're, they're weird. So that's what Twitter is as a whole for the most part. Yeah. It's almost like 7 minutes in, and I was thinking about saving this other topic for later on, but I think it's good I can use it now because we're talking about Twitter activists. I personally think a lot of the problems in the world come from lack of individuals' willpower. So you telling yourself, "I'm gonna diet," and then actually dieting, or like, "I'm not gonna have that cake," and actually not having that cake, or "I'm gonna go exercise tomorrow," and actually exercise tomorrow. Willpower, willpower. Really simple thing. I probably mentioned in a previous podcast, or no, not podcast. This is not a podcast. This is not a podcast. How is the podcast? People, not myself. This is ramblings where I just talk. Uh, yeah. So like willpower, individual willpower. Think of some of the problems America faces just right now. Like not coronavirus, not related to that. Like before coronavirus and happening right now. Obesity, that's a problem with America. Lung cancer, like self-inflicted things from like smoking, and things of that nature. People are vaping and using all that shit, hurting themselves. Addiction, like opioid crisis from addiction. Like, there's a lot of problems that occur that are happening right now in America that is a result of the lack of individual willpower. So each individual has like willpower, obviously, like their will, and personally, mine I think is very strong. If I want to get off Twitter, I'm not addicted to anything. If I want to get off Twitter, I can just get off Twitter for like a month, not look at it, not do anything. If I stop masturbating, which I do that very frequently, just don't masturbate for like a prolonged period of time, I can do that just fine. People can't do that. A lot of people, they lack willpower. The only way to obtain willpower, a stronger willpower, is to practice it. So like I just said, if you want to practice willpower with masturbation, which I think is one of the better ones to try and to work on, because like masturbation is a very hormonal thing. Like you just feel the need to do it for the endorphins that your mind produces, your body produces when you complete the action. It's a very strong urge. So if you can overcome that, you can overcome most things. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. I think people should practice that. All right, just don't masturbate. Just stop yourself from masturbating. People do it multiple times a day. All right, cut it down to one time a day, then cut it down to every other day, then cut it down to once a week, then cut it down to once a month, and then after you get to once a month, you're basically like, you congratulations, you've done it. You don't have to. You don't have to masturbate every day. Like, you have now cured yourself of like the urge, I guess. You can now stop the urge from like overwhelming you, I guess, and like forcing you to do an action whether you want to do it or not, you know? So, yeah, lack of willpower is a pretty important thing, and like it's hard to describe, bro. You just got to practice it. Like, a lot of people, they lack it, and yeah, it's pretty awful. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I'm trying to like think like what else I can say about lack of willpower, but I already pretty much said like the problems it causes and how to fix it. I'm moving my hand the whole time down here, which is why you see my hand moving. I'm moving. Yeah, the problems it causes and how to fix it. So I mean, it's whatever. If everyone lacks strong willpower, then that just makes the people who have strong willpower look more godly. Like, I'll have guys like ask me like, "Whoa, you don't masturbate?" I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Oh my god, how do you do that? It's not possible. You're lying. You're lying. It doesn't make sense. You are lying, sir." It's like, no, just literally don't do it. So it's like, just practice strong willpower. Just don't do it, and eventually the urge is just gonna go away in general. Like, do something else with your time, and you literally, like, it's all here. It's all here in your head. All right. Yeah, strong willpower. Yeah, so that was ramblings. This is gonna be one of my shorter episodes. Yeah, sure. We'll call these episodes. Pretty much all I wanted to say. I can't think of anything else. Yeah. Goodbye. YouTube. We'll see you later.